How's it going, guys? This is Travalgar Valentine. How are you doing this evening? Hope everything's alright. It is currently 3 o'clock in the morning, but why not? I thought I'd just show off some of my most recent commissions. I've done lots of different sketches in my YouTube videos, so let's have a little bit of a show my commissions that I'm quite proud of, and show what I've been, my progression so far. So, good start to the year, so let's have a look. This is for an interesting guy in Canada, I think it was. He had this 1955 Desperado or something, I can't remember. He asked me to draw a picture of his car, or I think I actually brought it up even, if he wanted a drawing of it. Sometimes I ask them, sometimes they ask me, vice versa. Anywho, he asked for a picture of this car, but I thought it'd be cool. I always add my artistic flair to my drawing, so I did a picture of the car, but then I decided to add a cool little campfire here, some chairs. It is come with this ladder and this awesome tent. But I also added this tree here, some nice mountains in the background. And this guy does go on adventures with this car, so I added a little map here. As you can see, a nice little road map and cool little mountains, little sketches here and there. So it's a really cool drawing. I'm very proud of this one. This one was for Wild Bros Garage in Sweden. They wanted a commission for this guy's birthday. It's got these 4 guys looking at this camper van. This one was done with majority of markers, pencils, and a few other bits and pieces here and there. So you can see there's the logo there, the 4 guys, and it's a happy birthday message. For the background I used coffee, stains, ash and fire. Quite a nice effect. This is a photocopy, this is not original, the original is off to the client. But yeah, this is a good commission that I had. A bit different than normal, but yeah, it was good. This is for a nice lady in New York. This is one from last year, and I'm quite happy about this one. It's one of my favourite ones so far. It's a picture of this Volkswagen Rabbit Caddy. And again, I used my Faber-Castell pencils, a few markers here and there. It's got nice reflections of these fenders here. Nice reflections going across there. I'm really proud of this. Got the engine view, the rear view. This is the original one. Sometimes when I send them over overseas, I don't send the original just because it can get lost from time to time, so not worth the risk. But yeah, I'm really proud of this one. Looks pretty good. Okay, this is for a guy from my hometown in Alston. Yeah, this is one of his Mark II Golfs. This one a little odd shaped, but overall looks really good. I like these reflections I've got going here for the outside. Nice brown reflections here. You'll soon start to realise when you've got like these professional commissions how much colour is actually involved, especially with this black car. It's a black car, but there's not actually that much black in it. It's more lots of greys, blues, greens, browns, gold trim around the windows, around all the wheels and stuff. This is a photocopy as well. This engine is not the best. I could have done better on that. This is nice. Maybe I could have done a bit more better on that. But they're all room for improvement and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really plan these drawings out so much. Like, I don't emphasise, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I can't plan it on the paper, and the colours and stuff like that are all on the paper. I don't have time to plan all that pish. I mean, stuff people like, if you ever watch like Muriel Joe, he spends ages like doing secondary pictures and perspective things, get it really, really tight and perfect and stuff like that. But I believe more in instinct, I'm more like Bob Ross, which is like, work with happy mistakes, if anything happens, just fix it and stuff like that, and work the colours in the picture and stuff. It's another Mark II Golf from last year. This one's for a company called Low Collective. I did a picture of their Mark II Golf for some advertisement. Sometimes for my last year, I wasn't getting that many commissions, so I would either ask for like a shout out on the page for a drawing, and sometimes I would get a few occasional commissions. So I would do free drawings every now and then just for business, but the free drawings are now getting much more, less and less. Now it's all about business, which is really good. That was like my start off point, where I started off, like, I did a few commissions here and there. I couldn't really get too much business. Rather than like trying to find business and then not actually stop drawing because I couldn't find it, I'd rather just keep the business going. And if I wasn't getting paid for money, I was getting paid with advertisements. So this is a big company, Low Collective. I did this one for advertisements, a nice gold colour, and yeah, it turned out really nicely. There's a few little mistakes here and there, but I love this graffiti style at the top. As you can tell, all these different pictures, I'll try and make each one unique. Not just the plain white background, the professional ones that you normally see. I want to make these unique. This is another photocopy of a Vauxhall Astra that I did. This one's pretty good. It's got some interesting views at the top as well. This nighttime one with these cool lights that he has. Engine view, nice rear view. Normally the top pictures that I do, or the background pictures, I always had like softer tones of pencil and rarely use pens for them, because I want to have a softer tone in the background, and use pens in the foreground which are much more bolder, so the foreground sticks out a lot more. But yeah, this was a nice client that I had. Added a little bit of background, a little bit of grass and stuff like there. Again, different from the other ones and stuff, and there's a few mistakes here and there, but overall good reflections. You can see how little black this is. When this is a black car, all the different blues and greens and greys and stuff. But yeah, I like it, it looks good. I'm struggling drawing wheels. I think that's one thing I have to improve the most. I think this is a Golf Mark 4, Mark 5 maybe? Yeah. This one, the wheel was really badly drawn on here. But again, I'm just accepting the commission as it is. I'm not going to retry it and do it all again and stuff. That's just how it is. I have to learn to improve it. But it's got some nice sharp red tones here. Nice bit of dark gradients. Nice pinks up here for that reflection coming down. It's got the bonnet over top. And normally when I do black areas with a little bit of red, instead of doing the red and black like separate, I do the black first and then the like red Faber-Castell pencils on top. It gives a nice like gradation. But yeah, it looks good. It's got some nice colours. The rear view here, add a little bit of flourish with the background there. Not much in the background. This was a present and it was kind of a strict commission where I wasn't allowed too much greater freedom. But overall looks really good. I'm happy with that. Okay, this is a Ford Capri Mark 1, 1970s I think. I think it's Mark 1. Again, using the softer tones for the background, as you can see, for this nice windmill and the hedges here in the sky and stuff like that. This is as you can tell, it's very, very soft compared to the foreground. This is a photocopy of this one. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm happy the way it turned out. Nice reflections here. I like that little headlight. As you can see with the headlight, I added these little trees in it and stuff. Make it really precise. Nice chrome bumper here. But I like these old retro cars and stuff. For the gravel effect, I decided to do squiggles with a fine line pen and then go over the top with Faber-Castell pencils. And what I like to do is I kind of like to do stages of the drawing within the actual drawing itself. So you can see the squiggles here, some of the layers of the colours that I added up, and how it looks a little bit unfinished on the edges and it works its way up to come on completed. I like that because it gives it a little bit more effective as actual being a drawing. I think I don't want to go too far being hyper realistic, because if I go too far hyper realistic, it's not going to look less like a drawing, more like a photo. And although that is kind of good if you do like perfect like a photo, I still want to add that kind of raw drawing effect to it with the pens and pencils and stuff. So I don't go too much, but overall it still looks really good. As you can see, there's not much dark outlines from here. Kind of let the greens do that, but they work really well. Nice details and lights and stuff. This is another Golf for Connor, and this one I had really big trouble with doing all the different blues and stuff. This, from what I said, for example, where I don't plan my drawings out and I do the colours on the actual page itself, and I should test them out. This one I had trouble with trying to find the right blue for it. So there's lots of different shades of blue here, and it's kind of a bit clotted at this area, a little bit muddled. But overall it looks really good. I still added the details, the lights, these wheels still need a bit more improvement. This is a little bit off, this one. This one's a bit more wider, I think. A little drawn at the top there, but overall I'm happy with that. And Connor wanted a second Golf doing, so this is the second one I did. Now I'm really proud of this one. I think I got the reflections dead on with the bonnet here. It's very white on top, but again, this is a photocopy. Nice soft tones here. I did use pen for the backgrounds on these ones. I kind of wish I didn't now, but yeah, it looks really good. This is a nice beach scene. These it was quite hard to find colours for certain of these ones, especially like the Capri ones and stuff, because these old like classic cars have these weird like metallic colours that you don't see very often. So I was using metallic pencils for that. Luckily I had some on standby. But overall looked really good. I mean, the problem is that although I like my Faber-Castell pencils, they don't have those metallic colours that I have with them. So it's because I've got techniques I use with the Faber-Castell to create the pictures, and I have to try and mimic them with other pencils and stuff, but you overcome these kind of things within time. This I had a little bit of trouble with the shape of it. I should have used a light box better because that was a bit off shape, but overall another good drawing. This is for a guy in Arizona I did recently. He wanted his Toyota truck done and just a picture of the truck itself. And I did my own. It had a picture of this standing still in the mud. I'm guessing he went out the truck and then went back in. But so I decided to do like more of an action picture where I did the mud kind of flying, try and do the emphasis of him roaring forward. And he wanted this nice cactus drawn on the right hand side, so I did that as well. Again, as you can tell before that I like to add like the emphasis of the drawing coming to pieces at the edges here, as you can see the smudges from the blue and stuff like that. Looks really good. Add these white highlights just for the water. It looks really good. A bit different than the rest, as you can tell. Okay, this is a more recent one that I just did the other night. This one I'm really proud of. This was the Honda VTEC from King Gobi or something. I can't remember his name. But this guy was in Texas. And yeah, this one was really good. I was really happy the way it's turned out. He had this colour changing outside. You know the ones that like change colour the way you look at them and stuff. So that was quite hard to capture because it changed. There's so many different colours involved. As you can see here, I used about 10 different markers for these different shades here. Yellows, oranges, browns, reds, purples, blues. Posca marker to highlight the yellow on top. All the engine bays, this really deep indigo blue. I recently got some pro markers which I recommend. I normally use these touch new markers, but those pro markers I recently got, they were beautiful. The colours in them are so much more richer, as you can tell by these blues that I used with it and the purples and stuff. So I really emphasise on getting some better markers now because it's really made a helpful effect. The engine bay was all inside here, as you can tell by the air filter and the exhaust manifolds and stuff like that. I wanted to try and make this stand a bit more, so as you can tell, I added a bit of white highlight around the edges, especially with these bonnet struts and stuff like that. Make sure I get the detail and all the writing and stuff, as you can tell. The number plate down, but and I've got the top view as well. The client just wanted this image done, but I ended up drawing this as well, and this, and the border as well. So again, I emphasise my creative flair, because you don't want it to be too commercialised and just draw exactly what the car is. I mean, I've seen that with a lot of other car artists where they just draw a plain white background, try to get it realistic as possible, and that's it. But I really don't want to do that. I want to try and keep this kind of raw pen and pencil kind of effect. I want to try and do a bit more different. So each picture is different. Try and do a different border each time. I try to add different logos in there. Try and add like these little lace effect. So, but yeah, it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it turned out. There is some improvements I need within it. When I put it on 9gag and stuff like that, you might see my name there, Travalgar Vallertine and stuff. I put it as the wrong type of Honda. It's from the early 90s, this one, or 80s. And the air filter, I need to fix that out a little bit more. But overall, it looks really good. And got this nice beige colour as well. Again, thanks to the pro markers, I've got some nice earth tones, so it's a nice beige colour at the bottom. That turned out really well. I'm happy with that. This one was for a commission for a present. This guy has a Vauxhall Corsa and he's called the Snowflake. I'm not quite sure why, but the client just wanted a picture of the Corsa bursting out of a snowflake. Thought that was interesting, different and stuff like that. So I did a mock sketch for the client because this is a birthday surprise, and it's by the wonderful group Route 22. They have got me about 6 or 7 jobs now. They are an amazing group of people. They're based down south, and this is one more of their jobs that they've got me. So yeah, but I like I said before, I don't want to be too commercialized, so I just don't want to do the plain white background. So although this was kind of boring, I went out with the boundaries, because I just did the sketch of this and that coming out. That's all I did for the client, and that was the client was expecting. But instead, I decided to go ahead with this rear view, side view, again using those Posca markers, those brilliant colours, and did all these different views with the snowflakes coming out of them. I also added this background here, a little like flush one here with dashed lines. Added the Route 22 logo inside like an ice cube kind of thing. So it was a lot more than what the client was expecting. But if you're doing a lot more than the client is expecting, you have to be careful that you're not going out of the way, like, because you might hate the drawing. You're putting a big risk on there, you're throwing out a gamble, because you might hate the drawing and you have to start again, or you might be, and there's lots of other things that could be risky with that. But I always like to throw the dice on these drawings and try and push it as far as I can go. So I always add my creative flair with it, backgrounds, borders and stuff like that. And this one was a perfect dice because he absolutely loved it and thought it was a great idea. Because no offense to the people who are trying to ask me for car drawings and stuff like that, but they don't know the creative output that they can put into the actual cars themselves. They just want the car drawn, that's it. But I can apply so much more, as you can tell, with all the graffiti logos I've done, the backgrounds, the adventure maps, the landscapes that I've done, all the different views that I can do, the borders, the logos and stuff like that. So just remember, there's a lot of creative output you can put with these vehicles and stuff like that. Especially with stuff like this, you can really add emphasis to the personality of the vehicle. So yeah, this is another good recent one. This one I just finished a couple of hours ago. This one's for DE Santos Performance Garage in California. So this is a nice American client where I did this Honda Civic Type R. This guy says he wanted the car drawn and a simple basic design, which is black and white, but I decided to add this cool effect with the lots of different pro markers. Again, pro markers are awesome. I'm not sponsored by them, I'm just saying how awesome they are. Maybe I'll go back to this for reference for my own. I'm trying to find better pens, whatever. Again, I use like 6 shades down to pale yellow and get down to these different blues as well. This created a nice effect. I think there was a digital artist called Chromators who used these really nice fine stuff, made the paintings kind of glow a bit, which is what I like. And then with this cool drawing at the bottom here, with the Honda Civic Type R. I explained this in a video before about the commissions versus the sketches book. But yeah, I'm really happy the way this turned out. There was a lot of colours in this because again, this is a colour changing car. So it changes with the way you look at it. But I emphasised the different reflections of the trees that were going around. The light on top where it's got these blues, purples. Make sure I've got the detail, the Type R, the vents. Got the wheels, they look a lot better than what I've been usually doing. It might need a few tweaking here and there, I'm not too sure, see how I feel. And got these different beige colours as well, again pro markers are awesome. And the DE Santos Performance as well. And to tie it all together, because it did look a bit separate, 3 separate things, I had this cool triangle going up. And I think that's got a nice cool effect. I've yet to show this to the client, so thumbs up and hopefully he likes it, because again, I've done more than what he expected to do. So let's hopefully he likes it, but that's what the risk is. Now, when I'm being explained about risk, about doing more than what the client is asked for, no one takes the cake like this commission. This was guys for a guy in somewhere in America. He had a 1970 Camaro, one of my favourite muscle cars. I love drawing muscle cars because they rarely come, and I rarely see them in my own country. Here in Britain, where they're frickin' muscle cars. You might get the occasional Capri if you're lucky, but that's about it, or the occasional Mustang. But he asked for a road trip. Well, I asked him for a drawing, and then he says he went on a road trip with it in a conversation. So I said to him, why don't I draw a picture of the maps that you visited to emphasize the car, you know, like the highlighted areas. So you told me you went to Las Vegas, Nashville, Tennessee, that was one of his favorite areas, Florida, Texas, and New Orleans. Yeah, about those ones. So he asked for the road map around it. Now, guess what I did? If he just asked for the car and the road map, but I wanted my own creative flair, it went a bit too far. But he absolutely loved it, and he paid me more than what he actually quoted me. So that was absolutely amazing. With these kind of extra drawings or these extra effort I put in, you'd be amazed how many times the client puts in a bit extra because of the extra effort. And it's rarely you see that in actual like commercial jobs. With these kind of jobs, if you put that extra effort in, the client will recognize it quite easily and want to give you more than what you expected. So this is a good demonstration of all those such things. Are you ready for this one? I don't know if you're ready for this one. Okay. So, here it is. As you can see, this is the car he quoted for, and I've got the maps here. But I also added a flamingo, a drink, peaches, a palm tree and a wee little flag for Florida with a boat and a little road map. For Nashville, I did this cool guitar guy, guitar, record, coffee, symbols here, a little food soda, food sign. For Las Vegas, I did the dice, some chips, some cherries, 777s, the buildings, palm tree. Got the map as well. For New Orleans, I did this cool saxophone guy. I did this cool scroll, trumpet, cocktail, brew. Moving into Texas, I did this little cart, poker cards, skull, gun, flag, bull bars. Into Texas, where I did this cool scroll, bird, and boot. And he wanted an extra bit added to it, which was a scroll on here. I wasn't able to actually get the right tools because I was afraid if I was going to use paint on this, it might mix in with all the previous stuff that I've laid on here, because this is all done with Faber-Castell pencils and pens and stuff like that. Lots and lots of different layers of blacks and stuff like that just to get it right correct. I even had a spillage of Posca here, but I made it into a nice sparkle. Again here, my Posca pens are a bit wild, so I had to stick on this scroll, but it works out alright. Slayer Camro Croon USA. So this is one of my favourite ones so far. But yeah, this year's going really good. As you can see from my commissions at the moment, I'm getting about 3 of these commissions a week. I managed to sustain it now for 6 months, I think, maybe 5-6 months. Because I quit my full-time job as a landscaper. I quit working my usual 40 hours a week and I quit down to 32 hours, which means I get a Monday off. That's why I'm up so late on a Sunday. Because of that, I get extra days to do these commissions. But that puts me the pressure that I have to now get a certain income to actually cover that. Now, the only way I've managed to sustain by doing that is from the previous 4 or 5 months. I did a few commissions here and there. I did ask for a few here and there, but I also did a lot for advertisements. So I was always drawing all the time, always doing 3 drawings, but the majority of them were for advertisements. But now, as my business is getting bigger and bigger, it's been less about advertisements, and now I ask about 100 people a week for drawings. I show them a picture of what I've recently done, and I say, hey, how's it going? My name's Valer. Would you like to be interested in getting a personal card drawn? And I have a picture of a card drawn. And that's what I say to about 100 different people each week. And I'll get about 20, maybe 30 back, if I'm lucky. And then a lot of people come with all the excuses saying that my mum can draw better. I'm not interested. Is it free? Can you come up with some sort of dealership for a partnership? Can you do this instead? That's too expensive. Lots of different excuses. But I've kind of stuck to my guns. I'm not doing anything partnership now, and now being quite successful in just maintaining 3 commissions a week, which is what I can sustain with the 3 days I have off a week. I'm still working on 32-40 hours a week at my landscaping, but it also means in my free time I'm doing 35 to 40 hours of art, so it's like an 80-hour work week. But because, as you've seen from my previous drawing videos and stuff like that, I love drawing cars so much that it doesn't matter that I'm taking up all my free time to actually draw these cars. I enjoy it so much. Although people have always said you can make more money off doing stuff, and the market is absolutely horrible to try and get into, because you're asking car people who have no money at all if they would like a drawing for their wall. It's like, would you like an extra piece of crap for your wall? So it's a really difficult market to actually get into, but because I enjoy it and I'm passionate about it, nature's just going to step back and just say, yeah, okay then. Because I mean, some of my designs I've had to do my break time at work. What I do is I get up 3 hours earlier, so I get up at 2:30 in the morning, 2:30, 2:15 in the morning, do it for 2-3 hours a day, and go to work at set off for work at 6:45 in the morning. And then sometimes I do it at night time, sometimes I don't. Depends on what I'm doing. I might be going to the gym, because at night time it's kind of like me and my wife time and gym time and relaxing at home and stuff. And I try to do my drawings first thing in the morning, because it means I've done my work for the day, and over the period of the week I can get like 3 commissions done, and sometimes it might take me 5 mornings to do one, just because it's 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. But my wife has some weekends off, which is really nice, but it means less time for drawing, so I've got to try and balance that out as well. Nothing against her, it's just my business and stuff like that. Because you've got to understand, as your business gets better and better and better, and these commissions start coming in, and you start getting all these different, you start getting commissions from Australia, America, Sweden. How are you going to work all that out? if you've got people coming over for a weekend, if you've got situations arriving, if you've run out of materials, if you've run out of money, all these different situations that you have to try and figure out on the way. But so far, through everything all and through my work and stuff like that, I've managed to successfully do a quite good portfolio of images right now, and my business is booming. And I try and keep 2-3 weeks in advance with my drawing commissions. I mean, sometimes I was down to my last like 1 or 2, and I was like, I want to keep this ball rolling. I mean, I've still got money coming in, so I'm not too bothered with my other job, but I want to keep this ball rolling. But then boom, weekend came, 8 more jobs arrived all over the world, lots of different stuff. So because I mean, I know the ones overseas are a bit less more money because of postage and stuff like that, but if you can get your artwork overseas, I think that's really, really important. But yeah, it's good. Let's just see what the future holds for me. I have got some other projects. I mean, there is a downside because I can't do much else because all my time is dominated with commissions, so there's nothing much else art wise. I'm trying to work on a comic book concept, concept car coloring book concept. That'll be quite good. I need to try and work out some merch ideas. I'll slowly get there and stuff. It's just about trying to find the balance of the time and stuff. I mean, if I can just maintain this for about 5 years, I think 5 years is my goal. I'll be about 30. I'll be about 33 then, and then hopefully I can do this full time. And then these 80-hour work weeks I will be doing will be 80 hours of drawing. And because I enjoy it so much and I can work at home, I'll be a lot more happier. And I'm the boss of these things, and I can add my creative flair to each one of these drawings and make myself an impact and stuff. And hopefully for the future, I mean, I've got plans for the next 10 years, and in 15 years, I mean, 15 years I'll love to have a shop with all my shit in it and stuff. That'll be good. But we'll see what happens. I mean, my next ones I've had 600 commissions this month. It's been crazy. So I've got to do another A2 Honda drawing, which is going to be epic. Look forward to that. I've got Lowrider from London. That's going to be epic. This last one's 2 Polos drawing. This last one's an Audi drawing with a horse. I've got another Honda Civic drawing. I've got lots of things coming up. So yeah, I've got enough to keep me going for the next 2 weeks. I'll try and avoid asking too much people like over the period of a couple of weeks, and just try and let it naturally come to me. And if it does really slow down by the last week, I will start running some advertisements and competitions and stuff, you know, just to boost it up a bit. But we'll see how the rest of this year holds, because it's going good so far and I've got a good routine down. I can keep doing these 3 commissions a week. It's good, it's making good progress. I mean, I'm getting more followers and hopefully I can create some more videos. I mean, I know my videos aren't the best. It's just because time's dominated these commissions. I mean, if you've got commissions for people in California which give you money, it's just like, well, you can make a YouTube video that might get 10 views and a few likes, or would you like to do a commission instead? It's like, well, I mean, the YouTube videos are getting there and stuff. I'll just show you a few bits and pieces of what I do. We'll see what happens. I didn't mean to talk so much about my business, but hey-o. Anyway, guys, you know where I've come from. You know, by my drawings were at the start of the year. You know, badly I was and stuff like that. But period of 2 years, I'm doing pretty well if this is the outcome so far. So let's hopefully see what the future holds, see as the year becomes. And I might do another update of some more drawings that I've done, because I've got loads coming up. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later with another one. Goodbye.